My name is Richard and I'm sitting in the corner. I think I might have some kind of social disorder.
The Twin Planes are an alternate world where humanity has much less of a stranglehold over the Earth. The laws of physics, chemistry, and biology are looser in the Twin Planes, and as a result, the life here is stranger and often more fearsome than what you're used to. Cities and towns still exist, although much smaller, looking like the colonial settlements of early America rather than the modern metropolis of today. Nature keeps humans locked inside their small wooden towns for the most part, connected by worn roads and traversed by the occasional armed convoy. Those who choose to venture out solo typically do not return. However, those who do have transcribed what they see beyond the walls. The following is one such account that a traveler had with a twin plane species known as the Forest Walkers. They found me shortly after I breached the walls, on trial for crimes I'd rather not mention. I knew that if I stayed, my head would be on a stick by morning. I set off into the evil I didn't know. After I cleared the border, I began walking east, hoping to hit another settlement without communication to my home. I wasn't as careful as I should have been with my footing, and stepped into a strange plant that, unfortunately for me, in mechanism and action, was similar to a bear trap. I blacked out due to the pain, and quickly went into shock. When I awoke, I was sitting in a wooden structure with band-aids made from sticky blue leaves. The room I was in looked like a giant wicker basket flipped on its head, with a large curtained door at the front made from palm leaves. I tried to stand, but it was clear that my ankle had been shattered by whatever the fuck that plant was. I let out a pained cry, and the ambient noise of the forest around me silenced. The palm leaf covering the door stirred, and beyond it appeared a soft, chimp-like face. It examined me for a moment, and then retreated, returning with a much larger one. They both entered the hut, and I could get a better look at them. They were massive. The little one was around 7 feet tall, and the big one was probably 9. They had thick, coarse fur like the bristles of an industrial cleaning brush, and 5 fingers on each hand, like a human. Even below their matted fur, you could see the thick, powerful fibers that made up their musculature. Each striation looked as thick as a steel cable. In their face was a mouth with dentistry that looked quite human, save for 4 additional incisors, one on each corner of the mouth. While intimidating, they looked down at me with compassion. What really shocked me was when the big one kneeled down and spoke. "Snap plant, stab foot," it said. It brandished to the vines and leaves around my ankle. "We help." It leaned down and adjusted my bandages slightly. "Leave on till no hurt," it said, then presented me with what looked like a small bowl of meat, insects, and forest grains, and looked at me hopefully. "Eat." Despite the fact that there were living crickets in the bowl, I ravenously devoured everything inside. I hadn't eaten for I don't know how many days, however many I was asleep for. Starvation can make anything delicious. I've heard of these things before, even seen them. Not in person, but images, photos, drawings, renditions, even some AI slop themed around them. We call them walkers. I thought they were just a fun myth. There's even a medicine company that sells cures with them on the label. I thought it was just some sort of goofy Michelin man-ass mascot, but who knew? They're real. Apparently, the main one in charge has been trading medicine with the men in my settlement his whole life, which seems to be around 200 years, if I've done my math right. He asked if I had a family that would like to know if I'm okay. I said that I didn't. He said that I have one now. There is no doubt in my mind that I am welcome. However, they do not see me as one of their own. I am here out of their generosity. I must follow their rules. I cannot forget that. As my leg healed over a few weeks, they showed me their families, their art, their culture, their lives. They live in small familial units, each one consisting of the entirety of bloodlines, eldest ancestor to newest descendant. These units come together to form a society, quite like our own. Every night, they would carry me to the fire. We would eat together, they would sing songs, and I was put back in my hut. It was a nice life, for a time. One night, when I was almost completely healed, I heard some rustling towards the outskirts of the camp. Peering through the wicker walls, I could see that it was not a walker, but a human. As it got closer, I could see that it was a man. He was unkempt, and his face was caked with dirt. I saw as he scurried around the large hut that they used like a nursery. He made his way to the entrance and pulled hard on the heavy stone that they used as a door. When it finally gave way, he was facing a newborn walker child. It wailed in fear at the unfamiliar creature. Without warning, every torch in town was ablaze. In a matter of seconds, the man was surrounded with every large, able-bodied male walker in the settlement. He was pulled apart by the limbs while he was still alive, and each was consumed in front of him. I observed the entirety of this through the branches of my new home. They woke me up the next morning like none of that had ever happened. Even more concerning, however, were the scraps of meat in the bowl of today's breakfast. Forest walkers are an intelligent anthropomorphic species of ape, similar to the Bigfoot of your Earth's mythos. These creatures, however, are significantly more intelligent than your upright walking ape of legend, and even come together to form a Type 0 civilization. These are essentially a tribal species of Sasquatch cavemen. While most commonly spotted in woodland areas, forest walkers exist throughout the Twin Plains, a generalist, omnivorous family of species. If it's made of biological matter, they eat it. They have incredible strength to that of a man, and have been observed toppling massive trees to build structures, and even putting a car on their back and walking for several miles. They have a rich culture, and speak their own language consisting of intricate patterned ape noises. Living in harmony with nature, they have an understanding of the environment beyond any human. Forest walkers know which plants are poisonous, which can heal, and which can get you high. Animals that can be tamed, and ones that mean signs of danger. And most importantly, when the plains themselves are going to need to feed again. While the walkers are incredibly knowledgeable about all things biological, their technology is quite simple. They use stone tools, bows, arrows, slings, and sometimes crossbows for hunting, and warring with human settlements, and between one another. The line between hunting and war is blurred regardless of species, as cannibalism is quite common in forest walkers. There is significant overlap between forest walker and human civilization. Trade is common, and sometimes members of one species will join the civilization of another. Certain members of the species, the leaders of the tribes, are sometimes able to speak broken versions of human languages. They never figured out metalworking, but they will easily figure out how to use any technology they've traded for. Some of these fuckers got iPhones. The kids are fucking addicted to TikTok. They got our problems now. What they lack in traditional technology, they make up for in an incredible understanding of herbal remedies. They are the shaman doctors of the forest, and operate on thousands of years of ancestral knowledge. Many a man who's been dying of an infection has traded a pistol to a forest walker for a remedy, only to be shot by the same gun the very day they finish their full course of antibiotic grubs. While walker and human conflict is by no means uncommon, humans and walkers tend to lean towards infighting. They can stand each other much more than they can stand themselves. They actually tend to enjoy human contact, and while not known for extreme loyalty, are typically quite friendly unless your settlement has a pre-established conflict with them. However, many mother walkers are incredibly protective of their young, and the tribe will react violently to any member of another walker tribe or species approaching it. Due to the walker's tendency towards groupthink, a frightened mother can quickly rouse an angry mob, which leads to the victim's imminent demise. Oh yeah, random last little tidbit. The walkers have occasionally been observed to ceremonially smoke a bluish moss that first grew natively on the dewy rocks of their forest. They cultivate it wherever they go, and reports from one man who smoked the substance alongside them reported that it felt like an incredibly sedative acid trip. If you like this video, you should like, comment, subscribe with all notifications enabled, or I'll throw you into a bizarre alternate dimension. Shout out the inner circle. Love y'all.